Hello, and a very good afternoon to ladies and gentlemen and the floor audience. Thank you for joining us today with our this Architects live talk show. For this session, I will be talking about AirGuard's latest upper room clean air system, as well as this energy recovery ventilator. As you can see here on the screen, over the last few months, or rather to be exact, in April, WHO has issued a ventilation guide document we call the Annex 3. It consists of about 40 over pages on guide to how to better improve indoor air quality. So in summation, the recommendations from WHO, number one, is to increase natural ventilation. Okay, that's quite natural. That is the easiest way to do it. Number two, if natural ventilation is not achievable, number two, we should be looking at how to increase fresh air penetration into a particular indoor space. And number three, if number two is not executable, that means there is no way you can introduce fresh air into the particular indoor space. Lastly, you should consider implementing a localized air cleaning system. Now, today's discussion, or rather my today's live talk, will center around number two and number three. Before I begin my presentation, let me just share with you a video presentation courtesy of NHK World Japan. This video was done last year, somewhere around March, that specifically talks about the risk of micro droplets in a poorly ventilated indoor space and what are the risks associated with it. Without further ado, let us watch this video, 5-minute video presentation.
Experts are now looking at this new infection mechanism as the key to preventing the further spread of the virus.
ただの会話の中で感染が広がっているとか、ある程度の距離があってもそれが広がっているような、そういった事例を見ると、通常の飛沫感染だけでは説明できない。非常に小さな粒子ということで、マイクロメーターの粒子、マイクロ飛沫感染とも呼べるような、そういった状況が起きたんじゃないかなというふうに考えられます。
So how does this take place? NHK is conducting an experiment with a group of researchers.
はい、レーザーください。
The team will track particles in the air using laser beams and a high-sensitivity camera. This technology allows us to detect droplets as small as 0.1 micrometers wide. The experiment starts. First, sneezing. We can see a large droplet about 1 millimeter in diameter. It quickly falls. But let's look through the high-sensitivity camera. We can see small particles that seem to glitter floating through the air. These particles are all smaller than 10 micrometers, or 1/100th of a millimeter in diameter. Let's take a look from a different angle. They're small and light. You can see them drifting through the air. These are microdroplets. We're learning that sneezing isn't the only source of these droplets.
バナナボートとか乗ったら楽しいですよ。
いや、絶対楽しい、ね。
めちゃくちゃ楽しい。僕カナ
We ran the same experiment on a close-range conversation. People generate a lot of microdroplets when they talk loudly. The droplets between these two stay where they are. They don't drift away.
マイクロ飛沫みたいなのが
It's not yet known what volume of microdroplets leads to infection. But Tateda says we can't rule out the possibility that microdroplets have spread the virus to some extent.
そのマイクロ飛沫、小さな粒子の中にもたくさんのですね、生きたウイルスがいて、大きな声での会話、あるいは激しい息遣い、そういった中でですね、このマイクロ飛沫ができて、それが近くの人、その人が吸い込むことによって感染が広がる、そういったリスクが見えてきたものと思います。
The risk of infection through microdroplets becomes even greater in a closed space with poor ventilation. This lab is simulating the movement of microdroplets in an airtight room. About 10 people in an enclosed space the size of a classroom. A person coughs once and spreads about 100,000 droplets. Large droplets are shown in blue and green. Most of these fall to the ground within 1 minute. But the microdroplets, shown in red, continue to drift. This simulation uses only microdroplets. 5 minutes later, 10 minutes later, 20 minutes later, the microdroplets are still floating in place.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for bearing with me the last 5 minutes. As you can see here, we are staring at the potential risk of airborne transmission, especially when we are gathered together in an indoor space, and an indoor space where there is poor ventilation or very bad IAQ. All right. So I hope this video has given an insight as to what really is airborne transmission and what are the mechanism, or rather the methods, that we can mitigate the risk of airborne transmission in an indoor space. So basically today I will be presenting 3 of our products, mainly the energy recovery ventilator, our fresh air system that is equipped with a high efficiency HEPA filter, as well as photon hydro ionizer. Let us jump into what is energy recovery ventilator. Basically, an energy recovery ventilator is to introduce and also to exhaust indoor air at the same time. In another word, we call it balanced ventilation. Now, where does the word energy actually comes from? The word energy actually means that this machine actually is equipped with a heat exchanger core. So what this heat exchanger core does is, whatever air that is extracted from the inside, I mean from your house, for example, all right, the cold energy in the process will be recovered and be used to cool down air that is coming in from outside. That means the fresh air that is coming in from outside, apart from going through a HEPA filter, it will also be pre-cooled by the energy, right, that is being recovered from the air that is exhausted from your house. And of course, the heat exchanger only allows exchange of energy. It does not mix the indoor and the outdoor air together. All right. So this is basically the gist of energy recovery ventilator. Let us look at another video presentation on our energy
People are at high
recovery
risk of
ventilator.
infection everywhere they go. When people speak, breathe, cough, sneeze, or more, fine droplets and aerosol particles in their respiratory fluids will invade the surrounding air. In enclosed spaces with bad air circulation and ventilation, COVID-19 and other airborne diseases thrive. That's why indoor air quality is so important no matter where you are. That's why you need an energy recovery ventilator in enclosed areas like your homes and offices and other daily spaces. With an ERV, you can leave the worries of getting fresh air without breathing in virus particles behind. Plus, it can maintain the temperature and humidity in an enclosed space while diluting the concentration of virus particles in the air with a HEPA filter, while introducing optimum air change. Air Guard energy recovery ventilators come with a medical-grade HEPA 12 filter which can reliably filter up to 99.5% of airborne disease particles and other pollutants, which makes it super effective in keeping you and your loved ones safe. Everyone deserves quality air no matter where they are. You deserve to breathe virus-free air, especially in the comforts of your own home.
Okay, basically, what it does is actually, again, I would like to reiterate, it introduces fresh air, goes through a HEPA filter, goes through the heat exchanger core, and distribute filtered fresh air into your indoor space. And at the same time, it also exhausts whatever unwanted air that is trapped inside all the way out to the outdoors. And in the process, recovering whatever cold energy that is inside your house and use it to cool down the air that's coming from outside. Basically, in a nutshell, it is a fresh air fan, with the exception that it actually recovers lost energy. That is where you find its application is highly suitable in an office environment, in your home, or even in a commercial environment where there is a surplus amount, or rather there is an excess amount of energy that can be recovered, i.e. cold energy. All right. So it is also highly effective, okay, in removing indoor contaminants, because as you are diluting the air, you are basically changing the air indoors. So by changing the air indoors, actually you are dramatically improving the indoor air quality. All right. WHO Annex 3 document actually recommends the air change about 4 to 6 times per hour. That means to say it is recommended that the air indoor should be changed at a rate of 4 to 6 times per hour. Okay, some of the key features of our ERV. Okay, it has got one of the slimmest design. When I say slim design, means the footprint in comparison to our competitor, we have got the slimmest design. Our heat exchanger core efficiency is rated up to 90%, i.e., it is able to recover as much as 90% of energy that is supposedly being thrown out, but instead it can recover up to 90% energy. It can transfer up to 90% energy. It is equipped with a HEPA 12 filter. As you know, HEPA 12 filter is an extremely high efficiency filtration media that is able to remove up to 99% of 0.3 micron particulate matter. It comes equipped with an IoT-enabled controller. That means you can actually use Wi-Fi to actually connect to your ERV at home or in your office. Again, high performance motor is used to ensure low electrical consumption as well as quiet operation. And our ERV comes with a 3-year warranty. This is how our controller looks like. Okay, it tracks real life particulate matter part per million. Okay, it also tracks the VOC. It tracks, of course, your temperature, right? And everything is controllable with your mobile phone. Okay, just a brief explanation on some of the operational feature of our controller. Okay, you can set it into 4 different time zone climate control. That means you can set it to run at a different speed at a different time in a day for 7 days. You can have a customization for 7 days. All right. Of course, you can also manually choose it to run at low or high speed, low to high speed. All right. It has got a service reminder. It will remind you when it is time to change your HEPA filter. Okay. It constantly monitors the changing air quality in the particular space, as well as temperature and humidity. Okay. And it displays a real-time volatile organic compound level so that you are fully aware. And if you want hassle-free, just run it on autopilot. It automatically adjusts itself for changing air quality based on your ventilation needs. Now, these are some of the example that we have collected, that we have done. All right, if you can see the screen, the video that is playing here now, ambient air, 0.3 micron, we are recording something around 90,000 particles. This is before. This is after our ERV. As you can see here, 10 micron, 5 micron has literally been reduced to 0 particles. 2.5 micron has been reduced to only 7. 1 micron has already been reduced to 6. So you can see the difference, or rather the efficiency in removing particulate matter from the air. Right, this is the summary of the improvement. You can see here, 0.3 micron, 92,000 removed to 2,000. We are talking about a 98% efficiency. The rest of it is almost close to 100%. Again, like I mentioned, the footprint of the our ERV system, we have got one of the lowest body height, which stands at only 250 mm for our biggest unit. Okay, next up is this our upper room clean air systems. Basically, it is actually a combination of system which consists of our fresh air, FSUV, and also our photon hydro ionizer. These two systems combined together will give you the ability to purify your indoor air quality on the upper room air quality. For example, in a cafeteria setting, this is where you mount the FSUV, and this is where you mount the ionizer, connect it with ducting. It can be flexible, it can be rigid. Okay, and connect with the air grill. So basically what it does is it actually removes air that is at least 5 feet and above. Suck it into the system, goes through a HEPA filter, a UVC light, the UVC lamp, sorry, and subsequently be treated with super oxidizers or negative ions or radicals, or in particular, you want to call it hydrogen peroxide plasma, as well as this hydroxyl, and also negative oxygen. Why this now is important for us? Because other than this, what is our next best solution? Our next best solution probably is to have a portable air filter. We're not talking about making changes to the existing HVAC system that is already in place. aka probably you want to make changes to the AHU. All right, this is presuming that the AHU cannot be changes cannot be made to the AHU, okay, or your centralized air conditioning. So what are the ways and methods that are available to us to help improve the total overall indoor air quality? Okay, our setup here is good enough to cover for a 1,000 square feet space. All right, as shown in the earlier video, tiny particles produced by talking and breathing are suspended in the air for longer. We are talking about 2.5 micron and below. So effectively, when you have an effective HEPA filter plus UV plus this ionizer, you are basically minimizing the risk of transmission by eliminating the vessel, or rather eliminating all the minimizing the amount of micro droplets that are floating around. Right, that is the key here. Now, why I show a picture of portable air filter is because this is just to show to make a comparison. Why I make a comparison with portable air filters, right, is to basically show that typically a portable air filter stands at only about 3 feet, 4 feet, all right, and it is most likely you have to place it in a corner rather than in the center stage, which is supposed to be at the center of the action, all right, and probably elevated. You probably want to put it on a table, perhaps on a higher elevation to make it more effective. Otherwise, the moment you place it at a corner or probably somewhere around here, for me, in my opinion, it is already deemed not very effective, because it is only tackling air, lower room air, all right, 5 feet and below. 5 feet and below, normally you're addressing to probably a bigger micron size particle, 5 microns, 3 microns, 4 microns, 10 microns. But what we are really concerned with are all the small little microns. Remember earlier on the video that I have shared with you all, you notice that immediately anything bigger than 5 micron will immediately fall onto the floor, and the rest of it just continue floating and floating and floating and floating for a long period of time. Those are the ones that we want to tackle, or rather we are addressing to. So I strongly believe this upper room clean air system, which is also a winner of the recent Architects Star Award, will be able to minimize the risk that's associated with airborne transmission via microdroplets. Okay, it comes in a few different bundling offer. Okay, of course, this is our URCAS Premium. Okay, our URCAS Premium basically consists of our fresh air system that comes with UV and also the ionizer, and it comes at this current list price. We also have a smaller unit. We call it the URCAS Premium B, which comes with a slightly smaller air handling unit, the fresh air handling unit, which is only around 300 CFM, but it's good for a smaller space. Probably if you have like a 500 square foot space, this probably is more suitable. Okay, and it is currently offered at this retailing for this price. Of course, we also have another more economical offering, which we call it the URCAS Basic. So, okay, what really is URCAS Basic compared to URCAS Premium? Okay, URCAS Basic is equipped with our inline ventilator. So what does this inline ventilator do? Basically, this inline ventilator pushes air and recirculate it over and over in the same space without HEPA and without UV. And basically relying on the super oxidizers generated by our PI 6500 or our ionizer. And it helps to recirculate and push all the super oxidizers into your indoor space, and in the process, eliminating the microbes or pathogens. Now, most of you must be wondering, what does it actually really do? What does our super oxidizers really do? Let me just show you another video presentation on what does our PI 6500 actually does.
Using the airflow in your existing ventilation system as delivery method. When these ions disperse throughout a space such as an office or a schoolroom, they combine with particles suspended in the air. This creates a snowball effect in which particles of opposite polarity to begin to cluster together. As these larger clusters pass back through the HVAC return, they're easier to capture in the filtration system. Our cleaning process is also effective against pathogens. When contact is made with ions, it disrupts many pathogen surface proteins, rendering them inactive. Other common indoor air pollutants include VOC or volatile organic compounds. There are hundreds of types of VOC that are created by common household items such as cleaning chemicals. Ionization is effective at tackling VOC as well as odors such as those lingering around nearby trash. Our ionization cleaning process will not introduce ozone or other harmful byproducts into the air you breathe. So now we can stay inside to get some fresh air.
So basically, it actually releases the oxidizers again into the indoor air, and the super oxidizers will in return latch on any microbe or pathogens or microorganisms and disable the pathogen itself, rendering it inactivated. So that is the way it works. Okay, this is the our current list price for our URCAS Basic. As you can see here, there's a significant drop in pricing because our fresh air FSUV has been replaced with our inline ventilator. Okay, let me just jump a little bit into the features of our FSUV. All right, it is equipped with a HEPA 12 filter. At the HEPA filter itself, there is a UV light that uses UVC light to help deactivate, or rather inhibit or kill, or whatever you want to call it, whatever pathogens that are trapped on the filter. Okay, it is also equipped with a carbon filter, quiet operation, and it also comes with a 3-year warranty. Our PI 6500 is equipped with the we call it the nano titanium ionizer. Basically, what it does is actually we use this UV lamp in the wavelength of UVA to excite the nano titanium coating on the outside that eventually releases all these super oxidizers into the air. All right. It is ozone and mercury free, and it also comes with a 3-year warranty. So this is a detailed description on what it actually does. Our PHI is an advanced photon oxidation technology that uses ultraviolet UVA to excite the nano titanium dioxide catalyst, which is the coating, oxygen and water molecules in the air to produce all these super oxidizers, namely hydroxyl, hydrogen peroxide, negative oxygen ions, and other disinfection and purification factors to crush the molecular chains of the compound and quickly kill microorganisms. So basically, again, you just imagine all the super oxidizers that are being released latches onto, let's say, virus. All right. and quickly changes its molecular properties and rendering it deactivated or inactivated it so that it can no longer spread or rather infect or rather infectious. Okay. This particular product here can also be used in a HVAC system, i.e., it can be used in your centralized air conditioning ducting, and it is extremely easy to install. Our photon hydro ionizer has been proven to deactivate H1N1 influenza A virus within 2 hours. As a matter of fact, this month we have already engaged a multinational testing lab and a lab that is approved by Kementerian Kesihatan Malaysia to carry out an actual SARS-CoV-2 virus, aka COVID-19 virus. They call it the real McCoy, the real virus. We are testing against it. The test is scheduled to take off sometime later part this week. So perhaps if any one of you are interested to talk to us, please feel free to drop us a note or get in touch with us. Again, as I mentioned, this PI 6500 can be easily integrated into your existing centralized air conditioning system. The illustration here shows very clearly that all you need to do is just to drill a hole, plug in, and the air stream in the air ducting will help you to carry and disperse all the superoxidizers all around the indoor space where the AHU is covering. What is really the key difference between a portable air filter and also our URCAS system? Number one, of course, again, like I mentioned earlier, filtration may not be effective to reach upper room microdroplets. Whereas our URCAS, our upper room clean air system, is designed to extract suspended microdroplets in the upper room section of your indoor space. Obviously, having a portable unit on the floor means it takes up floor space, and ours absolutely does not require any floor space. And by and large, most of the purifier or portable purifier can be very noisy. Ours, you can be guaranteed of a quiet operation. Now, these are some of the on-site tests that we have done on an actual site in our customer's office. So as you can see here, this is an office in Cyberjaya.
Plus, I think the wiring here, you can just have some of the wiring bunch up for students. This is not here.
As you can see here, okay, probably this is slightly a little bit blur. The reading in this particular 200 square feet, 300 square feet meeting room, 0.3 micron level readings, about 26,000 particles. This is the after about 20 minutes. So this is basically how it looks like. The air actually channels in through here, goes through a UV lamp, and then this is a HEPA filter. And eventually passes through our ionizer, our PI 6500. And this is the reading that we have acquired. Again, 10 and 5 micron, 0. 2.5 micron drop to 2. 1 micron drop to 37 from 500. And the most significant drop, of course, is the 0.3 micron that dropped from 26,000 to 3,000. So overall, this is an actual reading in an actual workspace. All right. Obviously, this wasn't a full-fledged test because it was a presentation session to our client. All right. Rightfully, it should be run for over an hour to see what is the improvement. But okay, basically, these are some of the preliminary data that you all can study and can look at it. And of course, again, like I mentioned, the sound level is extremely low, okay, for a machine that actually produces 440 CFM. And it's extremely slim in design, and it fits virtually any kind of ceiling space. It's not an issue. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I've come to the end of my presentation. So if you are interested in our product, do visit our online exhibition stand by clicking at the button below. And I hope to see you again next time. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.